Hello, this is William from ligaDATA. In this video I'm going to show you how to download and install Kamanja by downloading the binaries from kamanja.org. But before we do that, I'm going to open up a terminal and make sure that we have the proper prerequisites installed. In order to run Kamanja, you need to have both Kafka and Zookeeper installed. For me, they are located in user local seller, where you see Kafka and Zookeeper. You'll also need Scala and Java installed. Java, you require version 1.7 or greater, and Scala requires version 2.10 or greater. In this case, I have 2.11. I also have an environment variable set up, Kafka home, that points to the installation directory of Kafka. Now that we've made sure that we have the appropriate items installed, we're going to navigate in our web browser to kamanja.org. Once that's done, you hover over the Downloads drop-down menu and click on the version that you wish to install. And in this case, Kamanja 1.3. For now, we're going to ignore these links to Kamanja Hub/cluster. Those are for more advanced cluster installations, and we'll go over those in future videos. So for now, just click this link, Kamanja-1.3.2_2.11 if you have Scala 2.11 installed. And if you have 2.10, click the 2.10 link. So clicking that, it'll download, but since I already have it downloaded, I have it right here and in a programs folder, and I will simply tar it or untar it. Once that's done, we will navigate into that new Kamanja directory. Now, before we do anything else, we need to make sure that Zookeeper and Kafka are running. Right now, they are not. So in order to start Zookeeper, we'll type zk-server start, and we will run Kafka, no hub, Kafka server start.sh to make sure that Kafka runs in the background. All right, now we navigate to the bin folder inside your Kamanja installation directory and execute the setPath script, which you need to pass in Kafka home as a parameter so that it can set up some scripts and configuration files accordingly for you. Now that that's done, we will add a cluster config file by running bash kamanja upload cluster config Kamanja installation directory /config/clusterconfig.json. Once that is finished, you should see a what we refer to as an API result, which indicates a status code. 0 means it was successful. The function name indicating the operation that was performed, and then the result data. In this case, we're just spitting out that cluster configuration that was just added to the database. And the result description here, which is uploaded config successfully. Now that that is done, we will add a message. This is done by running bash kamanja add message, Kamanja installation directory, input, sample applications, metadata, message, message definition hello world.json. And here, what is happening is the JSON definition of this hello world message is actually being converted to Scala code and then compiled into a jar file to be used later by Kamanja. If you want to get this message that you just added, you can simply type in bash Kamanja, get message, and then the fully qualified name of that message that you just added. In this case, column.ligaDATA.kamanja.samples.messages.msg1.version. And you see here the result description is successfully fetched message from cache. And all of this is the actual JSON definition of that message. So now we've added a message, we need to add a model that consumes that message. So in this case, we will run bash Kamanja add model kpmml. Kpmml is actually a model type. Supported model types are PMML, Java, Scala, and kpmml. kpmml is actually a special flavor of PMML that Kamanja has created and leveraged, that allows us to define input messages, containers, and user-defined functions to easily expand upon the existing PMML capabilities. So for our model, we'll point to the Kamanja installation directory, input, sample applications, metadata, model, double tab to see what's in here, and then add the kpmml model hello world.xml. Now that the model has been successfully added, we are going to double check that our services are still running again. And one of the things that we need are some topics for Kafka to use, because we will be pushing messages into Kafka that Kamanja will then consume and use as input for the hello world model that we've just added. So for purposes of the sample applications, you can simply do bash Kamanja create queues. And this will create some basic, some default test topics that we're going to use for the sample applications. Now that that's done, we will start Kamanja. This can be done by typing bash Kamanja start to start it in the background, or bash Kamanja start -v to start it in the foreground. For this video, we're going to start it in the background. Type JPS, and you should see Kamanja Manager -1.0 running. The next thing we need to do now is navigate to the Kamanja Manager, or the Kamanja installation directory, /input/sample application/bin. And if you take a look inside this directory, you'll see several sample scripts. For this hello world model, we're going to run bash push sample data to Kafka _hello world. And what that will do is push the messages that we have set aside for this sample into Kafka. So next we're going to go back to that Kamanja installation directory and go to the bin folder. And then we will run bash Kamanja watch input queue. And what this will do is it will observe the topic testin _1 that we set up earlier for the input messages to make sure that they're there. Now that we see that they're there, Kamanja should have read them already and processed them. So to make sure that we got the expected output, we will go to Kamanja watch output queue. And we should see these two output results that indicate that Kamanja is up and running just fine.